Today I'm going to show you how to make a delightful and unique recipe, garlic scape jam. If you've never heard of it before, you're in for a treat. Where would you ever use garlic scape jam? Well, let me give you a few ideas. Think of a charcuterie board as a side to put on top of a baguette with brie and a little dollop of your jam, or spread on top of your chicken for that sweet savory sauce, just to name a couple of ideas. All you need is a few simple ingredients that you probably already have in your home: brown sugar, balsamic vinegar, white wine, and a few spices, and of course the star ingredient, your garlic scapes. Now, what are garlic scapes? Garlic scapes are the flower stalks that emerge from hardneck garlic plants. You harvest them when they start to come out of the center of your garlic and they start to curl. If you leave them there too long, they'll create almost like a flower at the end of it. So you want to harvest them before they get too big, and also that has an advantage to your garlic. It makes a bigger garlic bulb when you harvest them. And then they're edible, so you can use them in garlic dishes. You can use them in many different ways, in stir fries. And that's why we're making our jam with it today. I have here about a pound of garlic scapes. I'll let you know once I've got them all processed how much I actually used. So let's dive in. So to your pot, you are going to add your 3 cups of pureed garlic scapes and half a cup of white wine, and you're going to bring this to a boil. You want this to boil for about 5 minutes. I guess it's not really boiling, it's more like heating this up, and we want to heat this up for about 5 minutes, stirring constantly, because as you can see, there's not a whole lot of liquid in here. So once this is heated through, you're going to add half a cup of balsamic vinegar, half a teaspoon of basil, half a teaspoon of oregano, and 2 teaspoons of black pepper. And give that a good stir. This is me being transparent about this entire video. I was very skeptical at one point that this was not going to work, especially when I added the garlic scapes and the wine, and I was supposed to be able to bring that to a boil. I think you can almost tell in my voice that I kind of was like, okay, I just said they have to bring this to a boil. There's like almost no liquid in here. How is this going to work? What I ended up doing in this video is doubling everything except for the pectin and except for the garlic scapes. I left those 2 items as is, and I doubled the entire recipe. I added double the balsamic, double the white wine, double the spices. And even at this point, I wasn't even sure that it was going to gel, that it was going to turn into a jam. I started pouring it into the bottles, and I thought, there is no way that this is going to turn into a jam. So what I did is I took some and I put it in this little bowl and I put it in the fridge. So I thought, we'll see if it's at least going to turn into a jam. And to my surprise, it did. And so I thought, but it just doesn't look very appealing. So, but when you taste it, it's actually not too bad. So I think it would be good, like I say, on top of a baguette, on top of some cheese. I have to say, I was very skeptical until I started doubling the recipe, because otherwise I couldn't see how I was going to turn this into anything liquid enough to even be a jam. So if you're still interested in watching this video, watch the rest of it and see till the end how I made my way through this recipe. Almost considered throwing the entire thing out. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of butter or margarine to the mixture, and we're going to add our pectin. And you want to make sure to stir this well. The butter is to help to reduce the foaming once we add the sugar in here. Once your mixture has come to a boil like mine has here, we're going to add 3.5 cups of brown sugar all at once. And this needs to come to a full rolling boil that can't be stirred down. Once it's boiling really hard, you stir it for 1 minute and then it's done. We need to quickly ladle this into our jars, leaving 1/2 inch headspace. You want to wipe the rims down to make sure that there's none of that jam staying on the rim, so it won't prevent your jar from sealing. Once you've washed off your jars, you're going to put on your caps. These are washed, but no longer do we need to heat our caps. And you're going to put on your rings fingertip tight, and then transfer these over to your canner. I've just added my jars to my steam canner. It's the equivalent of a water bath canner. I'm going to put the cover on, bring this to a hard boil. We are going to let the dial go up into the green section where it needs to be for my altitude, and then this has to process for 10 minutes once I get into the green section. Once it's processed for 10 minutes, we turn off the heat, let them sit for another 10 minutes, and then we can open the cover and remove them. So there you have it, garlic scape jam. It did turn out better than I expected. It did gel. It's a nice jam. It actually did turn into a jam. I was very skeptical. The taste is okay. Like, I can really picture it on top of a brie, on top of a bread. Would I make it again myself? I don't think so. I don't think this is going to be a staple in my pantry. Somebody else may make this and absolutely love it. I do highly recommend that you do as I suggested and double the entire recipe, except for the scapes and except for the pectin. And this may be your favorite even if it isn't mine. So as usual, you always leave your jars untouched for 24 hours. Once the 24 hours are up, remove the rings from your jar. Never store them with your rings on top. Write on top what it is and the year that you made it, just to make sure that it doesn't stay too long in your pantry. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy my content. If you do, give it a big thumbs up. Don't be shy, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to check back again soon to see what other content I will have coming up.